Freya. Oh my gosh. Scully boy. Hottie. The original troublemakers. So, if you guys remember from some of my previous videos, my Mastiff, Freya, she had a condition called cherry eyes. If I remember, I'll insert a picture of what it looked like before. So she got surgery done on her eyes. She's trying to drink water right now. Freya. Psst. Mamas. So she has to wear the cone. She just had the surgery 3 days ago. So, yeah. Oh boy. What are you doing? You have a bowl of water right there. Oh my gosh. Delivery. Dogs are going nuts, of course. All right, well, delivery guy is gone. This is way bigger than I was expecting. Yeah, kind of huge. So I imagine that the laser is only maybe that much of it. So it must be probably inside another box inside this crate. But anyway, let me start getting this open. Okay, so this is quite a bit bigger than I was thinking it was going to be. But this is it. So this is the Thunder Nova 35 is the model. And we decided to buy this because this will be used for both my business and my wife's business. I can use it with my knife making stuff and use it for her art. And then also to be able to add things to have for us to sell at the farmer's market and online, of course, Etsy store, website, all that stuff. But yeah, this thing's pretty crazy. This is the flux capacitor. So that's like the cooling chamber, I believe that is, for the laser. And you can see the mirrors and stuff set up in the corner here. So they go through there and then out to the receiver, something like that. Pretty crazy. So this, for now, is going to go into the tattoo studio. I don't really want to put it in my shop just because in the tattoo studio we have a dehumidifier running. And I don't know if moisture will really affect this or not, but I'd rather be safe than sorry until I get to a point where my shop is more sealed up, and then we'll probably move it over to the shop. So, what do you think, Hottie? Yeah? You're a good boy now? Freya. Freya. Oh, hi. Well, the dogs seem to like laying next to it. Scully. Hi, buddy. Oh, Freya. Okay. So it's in the tattoo room. That was relatively easy. It's actually on wheels. Space is a little tight, but should be plenty of space to work. If I do anything long, so this actually has a pass-through door, which is the blue on the back that actually opens. So if I do anything that's long, I can actually open these doors and then run it out that way. Yeah, I need to take a break. Whoa. All right, so back in here, I got all of the auxiliary packaging unpacked. So with the laser, this is, like I said, this is the Thunder Laser Nova 35. I'll put a link in the description for this if anyone's interested, but if you go to Thunder Laser's website, they have all the stuff anyway. This is a chiller because this is a water-cooled laser. So the chiller comes with it. You open the door. It comes with an air compressor. This is an exhaust fan and the hoses that go with it. It came with a toolbox with a bunch of stuff in there. And then you can see the actual laser head is right there. So if I go around, I have all this on ultra wide mode because it's so tight in here. So if I open this door, so this is the actual laser tube here. So it shoots out here, it goes through these mirrors, through that hole. Then it comes on this side, goes into those mirrors, and then into the head mirrors and down to whatever you're lasering. So this thing can be used for cutting and engraving. I'm hoping to get this set up and do some test runs on this video. But basically, out of the box or out of the crate, this is what you have. So, and this unit, like I said, is quite a bit bigger than I was expecting. But you can see in the tattoo studio here, which is now the laser room / tattoo studio. Hey, maybe we can do tattoo removals and tattoos in the same place. I don't think it's the right kind of laser, but anyway, so I'm gonna work a little more to get some of this stuff set up and connected together, and then hopefully power this thing on. We do not have a laptop though, which I think we're going to run to Costco tomorrow. Today's Friday, by the way. Tomorrow's Saturday, so I think we're going to run to Costco and get, like a cheap laptop, something that's good enough just to run the software for this. So let me get some more stuff set up and then I'll be back. All right, so I am on the back side of the machine now, and after watching some setup videos, I think I'm ready to do this. So basically what you do is on the back of the machine, everything that comes with the machine plugs into the machine. So this is the inlet power, from the wall to the laser. And then you have your power for the air pump and then power for the exhaust fan. And then over on this side, you have your power for the chiller. You have your water inlets and outlets for the chiller. You have the chiller alarm, and then you have the air inlet. So I'm going to try and get all this stuff set up. It's kind of tight spaces, so I'll probably just get it set up and then I'll come back. All right, so all of this is hooked up. Everything is very clearly labeled. These things are not connected yet because it has you go through and turn them on to make sure they're functioning before you actually plug them in. Everything comes in the toolbox that comes with it. On this side, everything is hooked up. Everything's color coded as far as the water hookups, for your inlets and outlets. I need to go to the store and get some distilled water. So it takes about 2 gallons of distilled water to fill the chiller. And one thing I just noticed is this is a 20 amp plug. Even though this is, regular 110, it requires a 20 amp plug, which is why this is sideways. So I cannot plug it in to here. So that's going to be an issue. So now I'm going to have to run either a dedicated line, which I was thinking about doing anyways, just so that it's not connected to anything else. So that's going to take some time, which means that all this is going to be on hold probably till tomorrow or the next day when I can actually get a wire run. So luckily, if you saw my last video when I was doing the breaker panel in the house. So on my last video, of course, I was adding breakers to the panel in the house. So I have lots of slots open now. So I could give this laser a dedicated circuit, 20 amp circuit. I have several that are open. It's just a matter of running a wire from there over to here, which will be a little bit of work. So I'm gonna have to figure all that out. And in the meantime, I will also get some distilled water, and then we will be back. It'll only be a second for you guys though. Okay. So it's the next day. I made some runs, grabbed some stuff, some electrical stuff, and grabbed some distilled water. So we have everything, I think, hooked up now and ready to continue with the setup of the laser. So this is my Mini Huni distilled water. This is my dedicated 20 amp plug. So basically what I ended up doing is over by the pump house, I put in another outlet and I ran a wire from my breaker panel inside the house from a 20 amp breaker to that outlet. Then the outlet, this extension cord plugs into that outlet. Then I brought it into here through the wall. Because this location is temporary for this laser. It may be here for 6 months, it may be here for a year, I don't know, but this is not going to be the permanent spot for it. So I didn't want to do anything too permanent as far as installation of this. So we have the plug now, we can continue with the setup. And basically what that's going to do, the next steps anyway, is powering on the machine. And then my compressor and fan are tucked under there right now because I was working right here. We'll go over to the far side here, open up this panel, and there's a control board in there. And then I can cycle through on the control board to turn on the compressor and turn on the fan. Once we verify those are working, then I will continue connecting everything up. So let me get this stuff cleared off, and then we will fire up the laser for the first time. All right, so on the side here, I have the plug plugged in over there. These are the main controls for turning on. There's a main switch, which basically just powers on the unit. There's a laser switch, which the laser switch powers on the laser power supply and the chiller unit from this switch. And then you have your Ethernet, USB, PC connections here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power on the main switch. And let me turn the camera around. I powered on the main switch, nothing happened because there's an emergency stop here. So I have to reset the emergency stop, which is by pulling, you do a slight twist and pull up, and the unit turned on. So when it first turns on, it goes through a homing process. So it'll kind of make sure that it's in the right spot. So if the laser, for whatever reason, is left out somewhere else here, whenever you power it on, it's going to go back to this corner. That's its home. So looks like everything is coming up. I'm going to get repositioned and open this panel so that I can test the compressor and the fan. All right, this is kind of a tight space. This is all the controls for the laser. This is the door sensor board over there. Relays. This is a circuit breaker here. Breaker switch. This is the board that I'm going to be using though. So there's these 3 buttons right here. And as you push the first button, this will go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think it goes up to. And each one of those activates a different thing. So let me go through. So that changes the red and green lights. So I just made the light turn red. 3, I'm not sure what that does. So 4 is the air compressor. You can hear that turned on. 6 is the alarm for the chiller. And I don't think the fan turned on. I don't remember which one the fan is. Oh, is that the fan? Nope, doesn't look like it's moving. Okay. Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay, so the fan just kicked on. All right, so both of those are working. So I can go ahead and get them plugged in. All right, so that's shut back off. Let me get this other stuff hooked up and then we will continue. Okay, so the air compressor is plugged in, just goes to that nozzle there. So it's on. The ducting is hose clamp, hose clamp, hose clamp. And then the other end of the ducting for now, I'm just gonna run out this window. That'll only really be used when you're actually running the machine, like you're actually burning something. Normally I would mount this, I would get a vent that would go through the wall. It would be mounted to that all the time and just be done with it. But again, since this is kind of a temporary spot, we're just gonna make it work. All right, so now I'm going to fill the chiller with the distilled water, and then I think we will be ready to turn the laser on and make sure that the chiller is running. All right, so the chiller is filled up and it's running, as you can see. This stuff is all preset when it comes, so I didn't have to really adjust anything. But pretty much out of the box, this thing is ready to go, just about. The only thing that you really have to do is get distilled water. And then of course you have to download the software. So it comes with a software called Lightburn. And I have just a piece of scrap wood in here. I have no idea if this is gonna work. I'm just messing around at this point. But I'm gonna see if I can get something to go, and if I get it to start, then I'll be back and record. So I basically started a material test, and what this does is it goes and burns. Oh, yeah, I guess I need to put that to the window. It's basically blowing smoke in here right now. Let me get this fixed. Okay, out the window for now. Ah, my light, that's not the moon, that's the reflection of my light up there. Trying to get a good spot. But you can see that it's doing a test run. I'm not exactly sure what this is for because I'm just pushing buttons and yeah. I'll let it finish this and then I'll see if I can get it to actually do something that I want it to do. Okay, so what this looks like it did was, you can see the chart here where this says speed in milliseconds, 10, 42, 74, all the way up to 300, and then this is power in percentage, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100. Passes one frequency, intervals 0.1 millimeter. So basically the strength, this was all the way 100%, I guess, and then down to 10%. So I don't think this is really showing up super clear on the phone, but looking at it to me, I mean, it is a little bit on the phone, but this is really dark here, and then this gets really light as it goes up here. So not bad. Let me see if I can get it to do an actual picture. All right. So it's kind of hard to tell, but this is actually like, let's say over 1/8 of an inch deep. So that's pretty cool. This is pretty large. I mean, size of my hand. I should have made it smaller for the first test. But on the software, so the window, that's the entire bed. I should have shrunk this down a little bit, but yeah, it was okay. So for that, it took about 30 minutes for it to cut it all the way. And I didn't set any, speed or power or anything like that. It was just on the preset settings, so, but pretty sweet. And then another thing that could be done after this is that you do a cut all the way around. I think this is too thick. This is like, I think this is 5/8 plywood, so I don't think I could cut all the way through that. I might be able to, but this is going to be kind of what I'm going to be doing, like testing stuff. And this is just, cheap plywood. I mean, it's not cheap plywood, but it's, plywood that's not really intended for this. It was just the scrap that I had. Another thing cool on here is there's a little red dot that goes back and forth as it's burning, basically showing where the laser is. Oh, Freya. She's dying to get in here. Cool. I think I'm going to call it a night. I'll be back out here in the morning. All right, well, you saw in that last little time lapse. So this is some of the stuff that we'll be making with this. So this is all koa wood, which is endemic. So the time lapse you saw was this 808. So this basically is some of my wife's artwork. So she has vinyl decals that she makes with these designs. So I take the same designs and then I laser them onto the wood. But pretty intricate, pretty nice. So this is just like something that would sit on your shelf. These are things that we'll sell at the farmer's market. This one is the Big Island. And these are, of course, fully finished. So I've already put a sealant coat on these, cut and sanded the edges. Has her logos on the background. And I'll put a link to her Etsy store in the description below. Yeah, so pretty cool. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'm sure like a lot of you are wondering like, oh, why you get a laser machine? This was just something that we had been talking about for quite some time. This is going to be one of the machines that we will be adding in the future. We also want to get a vinyl decal machine for, printer plotter to do the vinyl decals, because for my wife's business, for the decals that she does, she sends everything out now to get them professionally made. So this machine, this laser, you can go to the website and see, but this is about it's about $15,000. So it's an investment, of course, but they work with you. They actually work closely with a equipment financing company, and it's essentially like buying a car. So our payment every month on this is like $300, for I think for 5 years. So it's like a car payment. And then, yeah, so as long as we can make and sell enough stuff to cover that payment every month and hopefully more, then it's a good investment, for the business. And then eventually it will be paid off. And this is just some of the first stuff that we're making, these little kind of art pieces, shelf designs. But a lot of this can be used for my stuff too, for the blacksmithing. So I can use this machine to cut out leather for templates for sheaths. I can make boxes for shipping, the knives out, like make nice boxes with laser logos and stuff. I can make templates. I can cut templates out of acrylic for my knives. I can engrave on the knives. So there's a lot to learn with this machine, using the software that comes with it. The software that comes with it is called Lightburn, which is, I think, pretty much the standard software for all laser machines. But yeah, we'll be doing some cool stuff with this. Like I'm even going to use this to make the custom doors for the Ohana. Because I can open this up. It has a pass-through door, which is this door right here, opens up. And then I can put a door in here because it can be 3 feet wide and, to infinity in length, in theory. And then that's why I kind of positioned it where it's in front of these doors. So if I am working on something, I can open those doors and it can go out. So yeah, I want to do some cool, island designs or plant designs or something on the doors. It'll be something custom for all of the 3 pocket doors that will be in the Ohana. They'll probably end up being the same, I guess. Maybe we'll do them different. I don't know. This is going to be a decision for my wife as well because she's kind of the designer, does all the designer setup stuff for the Ohana. I just build everything. So, I may do some videos in the future on this for the laser machine. Like I said, I have a lot to learn as far as doing the setup, getting stuff, creating products that we can sell. There's all kinds of stuff that we can make to sell at the farmer's market. So, what are you doing, big girl? Oh, she knows she's not supposed to be in here. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see you on the next video. Aloha.